The electronic pulse that would prevent millions of crashes began its rapid-fire sequence in the brake system of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class on October 4, 1978. Hans-Joachim Klein, Bosch's chief engineer, felt the brake pedal vibrate beneath his foot as the revolutionary ABS system pulsed the brakes up to 15 times per second, preventing wheel lockup while maintaining steering control that would have been impossible with conventional braking. Gentlemen, we've just eliminated the automobile's most dangerous braking scenario, Klein announced to the Mercedes and Bosch engineering teams as the luxury sedan stopped in a controlled straight line on the wet test track, despite aggressive braking that would have sent any conventional car into an uncontrollable skid. For the first time in automotive history, drivers can brake at maximum force while retaining full steering control, even on slippery surfaces. Bosch's anti-lock braking system represented the first successful integration of computer technology into automotive safety systems, solving the fundamental problem of wheel lockup that had caused countless accidents since the automobile's invention. The innovation would transform not just braking technology, but establish the foundation for all modern electronic vehicle stability systems. The engineering achievement was revolutionary. Bosch had created a computer-controlled hydraulic system that could monitor wheel speed, detect impending lockup, and modulate brake pressure faster and more precisely than any human driver could manage. What had been automotive safety's most dangerous moment, emergency braking on slippery surfaces, became a controlled, predictable event. Most significantly, ABS established the precedent for computer-controlled automotive safety that would eventually evolve into electronic stability control, traction control, and autonomous emergency braking systems that protect millions of drivers today. If you love discovering the untold stories behind automotive history's most incredible innovations, please like this video and subscribe to the Car Chronicles. 1885-1970s. The wheel lockup crisis for nearly a century of automotive history. Emergency braking presented drivers with an impossible choice. Brake hard enough to stop quickly and lose steering control when wheels locked, or brake gently to maintain control while potentially failing to avoid the crash entirely. This fundamental limitation of friction-based braking had caused countless accidents and deaths. The physics of wheel lockup were unforgiving and unavoidable with conventional brake systems. When brake force exceeded the tire's grip on the road surface, wheels would stop rotating while the vehicle continued moving forward. Locked wheels provided minimal stopping force while eliminating all directional control, transforming steering wheels into useless appendages. Panic braking was automotive safety's greatest paradox, explained automotive engineer Charles Kettering. The harder you try to stop, the less control you had over where you went. Emergency braking often caused accidents rather than preventing them, especially on wet or icy roads. The problem was particularly severe for inexperienced drivers who lacked the skill to modulate brake pressure precisely during emergencies. Professional drivers learned to pump brakes manually to prevent lockup, but this technique required training, practice, and split-second decision-making that most ordinary drivers couldn't master under stress. Weather conditions magnified the wheel lockup problem exponentially. Rain, snow, ice, or even fallen leaves could reduce tire grip enough that moderate braking would cause wheel lockup and loss of control. Many drivers avoided driving in adverse conditions specifically because emergency braking became so unpredictable and dangerous. The situation was particularly frustrating because engineers understood the theoretical solution: prevent wheel lockup by rapidly modulating brake pressure to keep wheels rotating at optimal slip ratios. However, human reflexes were far too slow to accomplish this modulation effectively during actual emergencies. Aircraft had already solved similar problems using early computer-controlled anti-skid systems, but automotive applications required different solutions due to cost, weight, complexity, and reliability constraints. Cars needed systems that ordinary consumers could afford, maintain, and operate reliably under harsh conditions. 1960s to 1970s. Early development. The development of automotive anti-lock braking began in the 1960s as electronic components became compact and reliable enough for automotive applications. Several manufacturers and suppliers recognized that computer-controlled brake modulation could solve the wheel lockup problem that mechanical systems couldn't address. Ford conducted some of the earliest automotive ABS experiments in the mid-1960s, working with Kelsey Hayes to develop electronic brake control systems for luxury vehicles. These early systems were crude by modern standards, but demonstrated that electronic wheel speed monitoring and brake modulation were technically feasible. Chrysler introduced the first production automotive ABS system in 1971, offering the SureBrake option on Imperial models. The system was expensive, complex, and somewhat unreliable, but it proved that customers would pay premium prices for electronic braking enhancements when the benefits were clearly demonstrated. European manufacturers, particularly Mercedes-Benz, became leaders in ABS development due to their focus on safety technology and willingness to invest in advanced engineering for premium vehicles. Mercedes understood that safety innovations could provide competitive advantages while fulfilling moral obligations to protect customers. Mercedes and Bosch recognized that electronic brake control represented the future of automotive safety, observed automotive industry analyst Alfred Sloan. They committed substantial resources to developing systems that would be reliable enough for everyday use while providing genuine safety benefits under emergency conditions. Bosch emerged as the leading ABS supplier due to the company's expertise in electronic controls, hydraulic systems, and precision manufacturing. Bosch's experience with aircraft and industrial control systems provided crucial knowledge for automotive ABS development. 1975 to 1978, the Bosch's ABS breakthrough came when the company developed a complete electronic control system that could monitor individual wheel speeds, calculate optimal brake pressures, and modulate hydraulic systems with sufficient speed and precision to prevent lockup under all driving conditions. The system used electronic wheel speed sensors to monitor rotation at each wheel, comparing actual speeds to calculate when lockup was imminent. A central computer processed this information and controlled hydraulic valves that could rapidly apply and release brake pressure at individual wheels. The key innovation was the control algorithm that determined optimal brake modulation patterns. Bosch engineers developed mathematical models that predicted ideal slip ratios for maximum braking effectiveness while maintaining steering control. The computer could execute these calculations and adjustments far faster than human reflexes allowed. Bosch's ABS represented the first automotive application of real-time computer control for safety systems, explained automotive engineer John Stapp. The system made thousands of calculations per second and could modulate brake pressure more precisely than the most skilled racing drivers. The hydraulic components required significant innovation to achieve the rapid pressure modulation that effective ABS demanded. Bosch developed high-speed solenoid valves, precision pressure accumulators, and return pumps that could operate reliably under the extreme conditions of emergency braking. Durability and reliability were paramount concerns. The ABS system had to operate flawlessly for hundreds of thousands of miles under all weather conditions while requiring minimal maintenance. Unlike aircraft systems with professional technicians, automotive ABS needed to work reliably for ordinary drivers with basic maintenance knowledge. October 4, 1978, the Mercedes-Benz and Bosch publicly demonstrated the first production-ready automotive ABS system on October 4, 1978, using a specially equipped S-Class sedan on a wet test track designed to showcase emergency braking scenarios that would challenge conventional brake systems. The demonstration was dramatic and convincing. Test drivers performed emergency stops from highway speeds on surfaces wet enough that conventional braking would have caused immediate wheel lockup and loss of control. The ABS-equipped Mercedes stopped in controlled straight lines while maintaining full steering responsiveness. The difference was immediately obvious to everyone present, recalled automotive journalist David Davis. The ABS car could stop shorter distances while maintaining complete directional control. It was like watching automotive safety leap forward by decades in a single demonstration. The system's operation was both sophisticated and transparent to drivers. During normal braking, ABS remained dormant and undetectable. Only during potential lockup conditions would the system activate, producing characteristic brake pedal pulsation that informed drivers the electronic controls were operating. Mercedes positioned ABS as standard equipment on S-Class models rather than expensive option, demonstrating the company's commitment to safety innovation as fundamental vehicle capability rather than luxury feature. This decision accelerated customer acceptance and industry adoption. Customer response was overwhelmingly positive among those who experienced ABS operation during emergency situations. Drivers reported increased confidence in adverse weather conditions and emergency scenarios, knowing that maximum braking force could be applied without losing steering control. 1980s. Industry transformation. The success of Mercedes ABS forced every major automobile manufacturer to develop their own anti-lock braking systems or risk losing safety-conscious customers to competitors offering superior emergency braking capability. General Motors introduced ABS across multiple vehicle lines throughout the 1980s, working with various suppliers to develop cost-effective systems for mass-market applications. Ford, Chrysler, and other manufacturers followed similar strategies, making ABS availability a competitive necessity. European and Japanese manufacturers embraced ABS technology rapidly, understanding that electronic safety systems represented the future of automotive development. Companies like BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Honda developed sophisticated ABS implementations that enhanced their reputations for safety and technical excellence. The technology evolved rapidly during the adoption period. Early four-wheel ABS systems were supplemented by rear-wheel-only systems for cost-sensitive applications. Electronic control algorithms became more sophisticated, improving performance while reducing component complexity and cost. Integration with other vehicle systems created new capabilities and efficiencies. ABS wheel speed sensors provided data for early traction control systems, electronic stability programs, and transmission controls. The electronic infrastructure developed for ABS became the foundation for comprehensive vehicle dynamics management. By 1990, ABS was available across most vehicle price ranges and had become expected equipment rather than exotic technology. Insurance companies began offering discounts for ABS-equipped vehicles, recognizing the system's accident prevention benefits. Modern evolution and integration. Contemporary automotive safety systems are direct descendants of Bosch's 1978 ABS innovation, using the same basic principles while incorporating sophisticated improvements and integration with other electronic controls. Electronic stability control, ESC, builds on ABS foundations by adding yaw sensors, steering angle monitoring, and individual wheel brake control to prevent vehicle spinouts and rollovers. The wheel speed sensors and brake modulation capabilities pioneered for ABS provide essential components for ESC operation. Modern ABS systems include features that Hans-Joachim Klein couldn't have imagined: integration with adaptive cruise control, collision avoidance systems, and autonomous emergency braking. However, the fundamental function remains unchanged: prevent wheel lockup while maintaining steering control during emergency braking. Electric and hybrid vehicles use ABS technology integrated with regenerative braking systems that capture energy while providing optimal stopping performance. The electronic brake control architecture developed for ABS enables seamless coordination between friction and regenerative braking. Advanced driver assistance systems rely heavily on ABS infrastructure for emergency interventions. Autonomous emergency braking, collision mitigation, and accident avoidance systems all depend on the precise brake control that ABS technology provides. Today, ABS is mandatory safety equipment in most global markets, with regulations requiring anti-lock braking capability for new vehicle sales. The technology that began as luxury feature has become fundamental safety requirement that saves thousands of lives annually. Impact and recognition. Bosch's development of automotive ABS represents one of the most important safety innovations in automotive history, establishing the foundation for all modern electronic vehicle stability and control systems that protect millions of drivers daily. The technology's social impact extends beyond accident prevention. ABS has made driving more accessible for inexperienced drivers who lack the skills for manual brake modulation during emergencies. Elderly drivers, in particular, benefit from electronic systems that compensate for declining reaction times and physical capabilities. From an engineering perspective, ABS demonstrated how electronic controls could enhance human capabilities rather than replacing them. The system preserves driver control and decision-making while eliminating the physical limitations that made emergency braking so dangerous with conventional systems. The economic impact has been enormous. ABS technology has prevented countless accidents, saving lives and reducing insurance costs, medical expenses, and property damage. The system's accident prevention benefits far exceed its development and implementation costs. ABS also established important precedents for automotive electronics that continue to guide modern vehicle development. The emphasis on reliability, transparency, and driver override capability remains central to contemporary automotive safety system design. The success of ABS paved the way for comprehensive vehicle electronics that now control everything from engine management to autonomous driving capabilities. Bosch's innovation proved that computers could enhance automotive safety when properly designed and implemented. Contemporary discussions about autonomous vehicles and artificial intelligence in transportation often overlook the historical significance of ABS as the first successful automotive computer safety system. The principles established in 1978 continue to guide the development of increasingly sophisticated automotive electronic systems. If this story moved you, subscribe to the Car Chronicles and hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to know that the greatest automotive safety innovations often involve computers working invisibly to prevent accidents, and that electronic systems can enhance rather than replace human driving skills. What's your most memorable ABS experience? Let us know in the comments how electronic brake control has influenced your confidence during emergency braking situations and adverse weather driving.